everybody, hope you're all well, and just another massive thumbs up to anyone that's subscribed in the last few days. My numbers seem to be going up fairly quick, you know, as regards to my channel, and I'm over the moon with that. I don't know if it's just obviously YouTube is pushing it out there to a bit more people are engaging in it and just giving it the old click on subscribe button, but I can't thank you all enough. Anyway, it's Friday morning, and as promised I shall be spraying the ceiling today with this new erbauer sprayer that I bought a couple of days ago. I did do a little video on that, and I'll probably link it to the end of this video. I just basically set it up when I bought it, and I just sprayed some water with it just to see the power in the thing and that. So today's a tester. I'm in my house at the minute, and the job is literally in the neighbour's house across the road. I could probably reach the ceiling from here, if I'm honest. But yeah, so I'll be setting that up over there soon and giving the old ceiling a spray. Fingers crossed it's a good one. It was only cheap. Screwfix were doing them originally, I think they're about 210 quid, but they're down at the minute 267 quid. And in comparison with the other sprays like the Wagner and the Graco, this is really cheap. So I just thought I'd have my turn at using it and seeing how it performs. So I'll see you over there for a little bit of sprayage. So here's a little room. Here's a ceiling I'm spraying. Got some overspray on the ceiling where I previously sprayed the walls. That was with my little Graco Ultra thing, Ultra Quick Shot. Just sprayed the walls in a silk and they seem to come out pretty well. A little bit of filling underneath them chases where I just had to bond out and then fill over the top. So what I'll be doing is I'll be putting some masking tape around the top and then some of that sort of tape and drape stuff all around down the walls just to protect it. And then I'll spray it. So yeah, I'm just using a bit of the yellow frog tape at the top. This couple had previously got a fairly newborn baby and he was having a little sleep, so I didn't really want to start the sprayer off, and they were going out at midday, so I thought I'd just sort of prepare really, hang about and prepare and not put the machine on because it's a bit noisy really. So here I am just using a little bit of paper just to tape up the spotlights. Just standard stuff really, but it all helps. If you can do all this preparation before you spray, it just makes the whole job go so much quicker. So the difference with spraying is you spend a lot of time preparing and you feel like you're not getting on. You feel like no progress is being made because you're making so much time taping up and doing all this sort of lark. But the actual spraying takes minutes. It's quite hard to get your head around, and I think that's why a lot of people give up on spraying, because you might get to a job and by 10, 11 o'clock you haven't put any paint on the walls or the ceilings, but it literally takes minutes for the sprayer. Anyway, so while I'm waiting for the girl to go out, I thought I'd just take the time and just put a bit of primer over this overspray just to kill it a bit really. I'm using this Fortress stuff. It's a really good little primer undercoat as it goes. I'll be using that a lot more often. Really dries very white. Anyway, I shall stop waffling and I shall get everything ready for spraying. So before I test this new erbauer sprayer, I'm just going to strain this paint out and just get the paint in best condition I can, just to give the sprayer the best chance of it performing rather than it blocking and stuff like that. So I just want to give it like the best conditions it can have really. So I've got sort of half a tin of paint here, just this cheap stuff. Again, this Fortress stuff, just cheap stuff, but it's been open and shut a few times, so there's probably a bit of crusties around the lid or the inside of the tin. So I'm going to strain it all out and then wash this pot out properly, tip it back in that, and then I can take it over the road to the job. So I may put a touch of water in this. Okay, so I've just emptied the tub, and I've given it a really good wash out, so we've got as fresh as we can get it, and straining this paint out. And to be honest, there's no lumps in it really, a couple, but nothing major. I've seen a lot worse in a lot better brands of paint, that's for sure. So let's go and wash this thing out now, and then we'll tip that in there. Right, let's get this primed through. First, put you on my head. Right. Right, that's that all primed up. So let's get on with a bit of spraying, shall we? Let's put you over there, and I'll start over here. So it should be recording on here as well. Right, let's do it. Okay, so my first impressions of this thing are it's really good actually. Took a little while for it to get up to pressure before it shut off so you could start spraying. Not sure why that is really. I've had sprayers before. My last sprayer I had was the Wagner 350M with the wheels on the cart. So I'm quite used to sprayers. I'm quite experienced at it. I'm not an expert by any means, but I do know a sort of sprayer and how they work and how they function. I've also got a couple of handheld ones. I've got a little Graco handheld. I've got another Wagner, the Fine Finish 3500, I think it's called. So yeah, I'm not brand new to it, but I'm obviously brand new to this machine. And the way that sprayed, that felt really, really nice actually. The motor was quiet. It had like consistent pressure all the way through. It wasn't pulsing at all like some do. This is what happened to my old Wagner. It started pulsing, and it doesn't matter how much pressure I turned up or how thin the material's down, it kept pulsing and pulsing. So in the end, I just thought I'm not going to spend money on that. So I just got rid of it. I threw it away. And this is basically the replacement to that. And I was really impressed with the way that sprayed the ceiling. Very comfortable on the gun. Like I say, maintain nice pressure. Not a lot else to say about it really. It's just if you're thinking about getting into spraying, this for 168 quid, I think Screwfix are doing it at the minute, is easily as good as the 550 quid Wagner I had. So yeah, it's definitely a thumbs up for this one. So I'm going to give it the second coat now. So yeah, again, second coat went on really well. I just had to stop and prime it again because a little bit of air got into the hose as the paint level dropped down to the bottom. So I just tilted the tub back so there was a bit more depth in the hose, and then just reprimed it. It was fine, but really, really sprays nice. Yeah, looking forward to using that a bit more actually. And with the interchangeable tips, I think that'll be quite nice for even a bit of woodwork as well. Could even do some doors and things with that. So yeah, all in all, a really good little sprayer. I'll show you once it's dry. I'm going to pull all this tape off now. I'll probably keep you there for that because that's usually quite a satisfying watch. So let's take the all this tape down now, which you should do straight after really because you don't want your paint drying onto the tape. There's still a little bit of touching to do here. There's a little bit of caulking to do, to be honest. But I can just quickly fill that in after. So I'm just hoping this frog tape doesn't pull none of this off. Shouldn't do. It was silk paint, and I sprayed this silk on here last week, so it's had a good few days to dry now. That came up nice actually, this silk. I sprayed that with the little Graco Ultra, you know, the quick shot thing. That sprayed on really well. A little bit of touching up there, but nothing to worry about. Right, that peeled off alright actually, could have been a lot worse, so yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with the way that sprayed. Let's give it 10-15 minutes and that'll be dry then, and I can show you again then. I can take all the leads off and put the lights on. That's about an hour or so later, and there's still some areas just drying on that ceiling. Just primed some areas, you can see a little bit of wet there. But yeah, it's drying in nice actually. All looking pretty good. Frog tape, as usual. Pulled a bit of paint off, so I've got bits up there to come off. Little bits down on the skirting line come off of the walls. I've just had to put a bit of filler on them. But anyway, the video is not about this room as being decorated. It was really just about showing you the sprayer on the ceiling. So ceiling looks great. I'm more than happy with that. So hopefully I'll inspire you, some of you, to get into some spraying on a budget really. And I'm sure you'll see me using that again on jobs, definitely. Anyway, I shall put this video to bed now. And I hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll probably see you again on Monday.